getting used to it in our place.
You liked a gun better than a Glock.
Yeah.
Hallelujah!
Ho-ho! Wolverine cosplay. I'm Batman.
Action!
Oh! 2, 3, 5. Ow!
Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Been wanting to do this review for a long time. This is going to be a 7-foot whip made by Havocwhips that I got off of Etsy. It's made of nylon. I've been leaning more and more towards nylon whips the more that I use whips, and I'll tell you why. Low cost, low maintenance. When I went and visited Anthony DeLongis back in 2021, I learned firsthand from him on whip cracking, and he suggested that I get a whip that had an 11-inch handle, that was 7 feet long, and had a 3-foot fall on it. I got a whip from him that was a screen-used whip from Dead for $1, and boy is it fancy. There's a video of that on this channel. However, it is leather. And as soon as I got back from that trip, it rained for about 6 months straight. And I wasn't about to ruin that whip. So I decided to get a nylon whip that had the exact same dimensions as that whip did. So I had this one custom made with a smaller ball on the end. And it even has the little cuff here, like Mr. DeLongis' whip has. And then it's got the 7 feet of length, and then the 3-foot fall on the end. Now it is quite a bit lighter. That's the trade-off with nylon whips. But you can use it when it's raining, when it's snowing, whatever, and it doesn't matter. I've been using this thing in mud, downpours, snow, whatever. You bring it in the house, you rinse it off in the sink, you wipe it with a towel, and you put it away. End of story. A leather whip like this is going to run you $600 to $700. I got this one from Havocwhips for I think about $210, and it has served me very well. In fact, he even put a cool little knob here on the end, which is really gnarly looking. So yeah, you want a nice thin handle. This is all Mr. DeLongis' specs, by the way. And then of course you need a nice taper, which a lot of nylon whips don't have, and that's why I quit using them originally. I got some from Western Stage Props. My review of their whip is also on this channel, and it just flails around like a limp noodle. This one is actually made the way a whip is supposed to be made, and it's got a belly, and it's got a front and a back, and boy is it nice, as I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. But you can see it's got a very nice taper from here all the way through to a very thin end here, and then the fall is basically a paracord with a standard cracker on the end of it. Now I have used the living hell out of this thing, and the only thing that I've ever had to replace is this cracker, and I had to replace it once. So as far as I'm concerned, I've already gotten my money's worth out of this thing, and it's still going strong. Based on how well this whip has performed, I'm actually considering getting a second whip from Havocwhips as an Indiana Jones whip, because then I don't have to worry about ruining my leather ones. So I could just carry the nylon one on my hip. Nobody's going to know a difference. It's going to be lighter, so it won't drag in my pants as much. It'll still look great on camera, and it'll still perform, and it'll be way cheaper, and I can just trash it, and it'll be fine. So anyway, not much else to say about this whip. Let's take it outside and see how it performs. Okay, so since I moved to Klamath Falls, I don't have quite as much room as I used to perform with these bad boys. And it looks like it's about ready to snow. So,
going to show you a couple basic things with it. Another thing, my neighbors love this whip because it's way quieter than the other ones. Look at how easily it rolls one end to the other. I mean, I'm literally doing nothing here. And you can see that nice, beautiful loop on this whip. And it will do any crack that you want it to do. If you saw my review for my Captain America whip, which was actually made by the same guy, I honestly think that this one's even better than that one. We'll do reverses. Oops. Yes, I still mess up a once. Since I went and hung out with Mr. DeLongis, I've been trying a lot of different techniques. And they're a lot more precise, which is why he recommended this whip. Because these measurements give you the best feel for the whip, in his opinion. And he's one of the best whip masters on the planet, in my opinion, especially after spending some time with him. So I'm going to do exactly what he tells me to do. We'll do the overhead and the reverse overhead. Of course, this one and this one. And it's just so effortless. I mean, the whip is light. You hardly have to put any work into it. And it'll give you a crack pretty much every time. A nice, quiet one. Now, for all you people out there that are watching this video that feel like you need to jerk the whip, please, for the love of God, stop doing that. Entire whip tutorial series on my YouTube channel. Start with lesson 1 and learn how to handle the whip so that you're not killing yourself with it or ruining the whip for that matter. There's so many people out there in the indie community that are just jerking it all over the place, and you're just going to end up hurting yourself, or your fall is going to come off, or the end of the whip's going to get damaged, or whatever. If you've got a good whip, it requires virtually no effort on your part. I'm trying to make this crack pretty much right in front of the camera, so it's probably a little bit louder than it would actually be in real life. But in real life, this is about the same as a hand clap, as far as how loud it is. And yes, I still get it tangled up every once in a while. But you can see, when I hold it like this, that it has a very clear curvature. Because when I try and hang it the other way, yeah, it doesn't do that. Every good whip needs to have this right here. And I mean, you can just see from the way it performs, it's just beautiful. Jeremy, you make amazing whips, and I am expecting to be buying another one from you in the near future. But this is hands down. I mean, I haven't owned a lot of nylon whips. I think this is only my 3rd or 4th nylon whip that I've owned. So I don't have a whole lot of expertise, but based on the ones that I've owned, this is very easily, it's just far superior to the other ones. There's just nothing to it. I mean, hanging out with Anthony and training my butt off with this thing has probably helped, but there is no denying this is a spectacular whip. Get a couple more here. I think I got it tangled in the tree. Yeah, I'd like to expand this area a little bit, so I've got a little bit more room for practicing, but we haven't been living here very long yet, so I mean there's still a lot of things to do. Anyway, I think you get the basic idea at this point. I don't know how much these whips are going for now, but Havocwhips is still going strong on Etsy. And if you're a beginner and you're looking at getting your first whip, leather ones are a lot of money. And I mean, you can get probably 3 of these for the price of a good leather one. So, that being said, I'm going to take it in the house and clean it off just so you guys can see how little maintenance goes into one of these things. Okay, so for those of you that have been following my whip tutorial series, you remember I showed you how to oil the leather whip in episode 1. And how much of a pain in the butt that was. So, here's the whip that we just used. We take it in the sink, run some water over it, and you take a rag, and you wipe it off. And then you put it away for next time. And that's all there is to it. Now obviously, I mean, there wasn't any mud or anything nasty out when I used the whip earlier. So, I mean, if you're out there playing in the mud or something, it might take a little bit longer to wipe it off, or a little bit longer in the sink or whatever. But that's basically all there is to it. 30 seconds, you're done. And you don't have to worry about periodically oiling it like you do with a leather whip. You can just wipe it off, not use it for a year, and come back and use it again, and it will perform just as well. So, the more I use these nylon whips, the more I like them. And this one, as you can see, is just freaking fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like my content, please consider subscribing on Patreon. I've already got one fan film on there. The other one's going to be on there here pretty soon. Movie posters, cool photos of me and Shan Shan. Got some other things on there too, and I'm adding new stuff all the time. It's $1 a month. Not a whole lot of money, but it makes a statement. It tells me that you value what I'm doing. And that actually means more than the $1. So, anyway, just something to think about. I appreciate all you watching, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.